I'm Danna. I'm a hypnotherapist specializing in trauma and disease. Let's talk about addictions. Every single human being on planet Earth has some sort of addiction, whether that's your phone, drugs, alcohol, food, sugar, even exercise. There's some sort of behavior that might be impulsive that you're using to cope with pain. And that is the key right there. All addictions are somehow allowing your brain to cope with things it never coped with. So the idea here is, it doesn't make you a good person, it doesn't make you a bad person, it's neutral. What your brain needs in order to cope with things that have happened, it has to have some way of dealing with stress. So oftentimes what happens is something happened in the past. Let's say, for example, you grow up in a family that has alcoholics and there was a fight and your mom and dad are going at it. And later on in the evening, you see your father drink alcohol. That becomes a learned behavior. Every time you have that same sort of trigger, that exact feeling that happened in that moment when your family was fighting is now going to be associated with drinking alcohol. So it just becomes that learned habit. So when you have that feeling, that trigger internally, it's just an automatic instinctual thing. It's an unconscious behavior. It's an impulsive reaction. So a great way in which to stop impulsively reacting is to go within, become introspective, go to the origin, and disconnect that emotional instance or instances from that behavior. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can do that. Another way I actually view addictions is a roadmap to your life. I believe that a lot of what we're meant to do on earth, if you have a belief that we're here for growth, spiritual growth, then in essence, what happens is there's things that we're meant to overcome. So addictions, trauma, disease, these are all markers in your roadmap of life. And every ounce of your energy is meant to go to overcome these things. And within that process, you evolve as a human, you grow. So if you can look at it like that, it's actually an interesting way to approach your addiction. Out of the suffering into the challenge. What can I do with every ounce of my energy to overcome this? What resources can I find? How, where, who do I go to help me alleviate this internal pain, to overcome my base nature, and to grow into a more conscious human being? And lastly, I was approached a number of years ago by a rehab center that was very pricey, and they were asking if I knew anyone or had anyone to send them as referrals. And I asked to look at their curriculum, and a lot of their treatments were not deep enough. They're not going into the pain, lifting it up, clearing it out, and creating clean space within the mind. Because until that happens, until that pain is somehow processed, the mind just wants to cope. You can't blame it. So it just will react. So in order to not have these addictions, you have to allow your inner world to cope. You have to be integrated. You have to allow all those things that happen to be cleared out of your mind, lifted up, released, and let go of. So there's more space in your brain for more positive thoughts. You don't have to be impulsive. You don't have to act upon a feeling. You create space. And in that space, there's healing. Thanks for watching. If you'd like further information, any questions, any comments, always feel free to reach out. Here's to you and your healing. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.